I still remember the way the house smelled that night. Cheap perfume, stale wine, and the faint hint of her favorite vanilla candle. I had come home early, flowers in one hand, a bottle of wine in the other. It was supposed to be a quiet night, just the two of us. A small dinner, a little music, maybe some much-needed closeness. But what I walked into was nothing like that. There were strangers in our living room, half drunk, dancing, laughing like they owned the place. Music thumped through the walls, lights dimmed, empty bottles scattered across the coffee table. And there she was, Melissa, my wife, sitting on the couch with a guy I had never seen before. His arm draped casually over her shoulders. She saw me, and her eyes widened for a second. Then she smiled as if nothing was wrong. "Hey, babe. You're early," she called out, slurring slightly. Early. It was 10 p.m. I had texted her twice, told her I was coming home. "Melissa," I said, my voice tight. "What is this?" She got up a little too quickly, wine glass still in her hand. "It's just a party. Some friends from work. To blow off some steam. Don't be so uptight." That word sliced through me. I looked around. Strangers spilling drinks on our carpet, a couple making out near the kitchen, some guy rifling through our vinyl records without even asking. And her, smiling like she hadn't crossed every boundary we had ever set. We had talked about this before. Boundaries, trust, respect. She promised me she'd stop throwing these random parties, that she'd focus on us. "Melissa, we talked about this," I said, trying to keep my voice steady. "You said you wanted to work on things. You said." She rolled her eyes. "God, not this again. It's just a party, Michael. Don't make it a big deal." But it was a big deal. Because it wasn't just a party, it was a pattern. The late nights, the excuses, the sudden secrecy with her phone. And now, this stranger's arm around her like he belonged there. "Who's he?" asked, my voice sharper now. She hesitated, just for a moment. And in that hesitation, I felt the ground beneath me shift. "He's a friend. From work," she said too quickly. The guy didn't even bother looking guilty. He just smirked, took a sip from his beer and said, "Relax, man. It's just a party." I left the flowers on the counter. I didn't open the wine. That night, I slept in the guest room while the music downstairs went on until 2 a.m. And Melissa never came to check on me. The next morning, the house was a mess. Bottles, ashes, lipstick stains on glasses that weren't hers. She was in the shower, humming like nothing had happened. When she came out wrapped in a towel, I said, "We need to talk." She sighed. "Michael, if this is about last night." "It's not just about last night, Melissa," I snapped, surprising even myself. "It's about the last 6 months. The lies, the parties, the disappearing acts. I don't know who you are anymore." Her expression hardened. "Maybe that's the problem. You don't know how to let me breathe. I'm young, I want to have fun. Why does everything have to be about your rules?" "My rules," said, my voice cracking. "I've bent over backwards to make this marriage work. I've compromised. I've waited. But you," she cut me off. "Maybe we want different things." And just like that, the air left the room. Tried. God, I tried for months after that. Couples therapy. Late night talks. I cooked her favorite meals, left notes, gave her space. But she kept choosing the parties, the chaos, the nights out over the quiet dinners, the walks in the park, the life we were supposed to be building. The final straw came on our anniversary. I had booked a small cabin by the lake. Just the two of us, no distractions. She said she'd meet me there after work. I waited until midnight. No calls. No text. When I drove back home at 2 a.m. I found her. Dressed in sequins, drunk, leaning against that same guy from the party months ago, laughing like she had nothing in the world to lose. She saw me and her face froze. "Michael, I didn't yell. I didn't scream. I just said, 'We're done.' And I walked away." 5 years. It's been 5 years since that night. 5 years since I signed the papers, packed my things and started over. The first year was hell. Every song on the radio felt like a knife. Every familiar street a wound reopening. I couldn't trust anyone. I couldn't even trust myself. How had I been so blind? But slowly I rebuilt. A new job in a new city. Therapy. Long walks in the morning. I started writing again. Something I'd stopped doing when I got married because she said it didn't pay the bills. And then I met someone. Her name's Claire. She's quiet, grounded. The kind of woman who listens when you talk and never makes you feel small for needing her attention. For the first time in years, I felt like I was breathing again. Last week I saw Melissa. It was a random Thursday evening. I had just left a meeting downtown when I spotted her sitting outside a cafe, alone, scrolling through her phone. Her hair was shorter, her face a little thinner, but I knew it was her. I almost walked away. But something, curiosity, closure, maybe both, made me stop. "Melissa," said. She looked up. And for a moment I saw every version of her I'd ever loved. The woman I married, the one who used to laugh with me in the kitchen at 2 a.m., the one who held my hand during storms. "Michael," she said softly. "Wow, it's been a while." 5 years, I replied. We sat for a few minutes. Polite small talk at first, work, the weather, mutual friends. Then she said, "I heard you moved on. She seems nice." I raised an eyebrow. "You've been keeping tabs." I shrugged. "A little." "Yes. I wanted to see if you were okay." "I am," I said. And it was the truth. She hesitated. "I wasn't okay, you know. After you left. Things didn't turn out like I thought they would." I didn't say anything. The parties, the people. It all just kind of faded. That guy Evan, he left. Everyone did, eventually. I lost my job. Moved back in with my sister for a while. I thought I was having fun, but really I was just lost. Her eyes glistened. "I'm sorry, Michael. For everything. For not choosing you when I should have." And for a moment I felt the old ache in my chest. The part of me that wanted her to beg, to suffer, to feel every ounce of pain I had felt. But instead I just said, "I hope you find your way, Melissa." She nodded. "You really moved on, huh?" "Yes," I said. "Because I had to." Walking away that night was the hardest thing I'd ever done. But sitting across from her 5 years later, I realized something. Leaving wasn't the end of my story. It was the beginning. I didn't need her apology to heal. I didn't need revenge to feel whole. I just needed to stop waiting for someone to choose me. And start choosing myself. As I left the cafe, Claire called. "Hey," she said, her voice warm. "Dinner's almost ready. Are you on your way?" Smiled. "Yeah. I'm coming home." And for the first time in years, home finally meant peace.